Hello Skinny Legends, it's Jesse and I'm back for another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my vinyl record collection. I recently just got a record player, I guess not too recently. It's been a couple months now, but I've been trying to build up like a solid collection of different styles of music, and some of these are new, some of them I go thrift shopping for and try and find like older ones. So let's get started, and throughout this I'm gonna probably do some tapping on the albums and talk about the songs and stuff. So let's get started. So the first one right here is The Very Best of Electric Light Orchestra. Um, they're kind of an older band, and some of their songs include Mr. Blue Sky, which plays in like every movie ever. It's, if you don't know the song specifically, I'm sure if you heard it you would be like, oh, okay, I know what that is. There's also Evil Woman, um, Living Thing, Xanadu, Strange Magic. They actually turned this album into like a jukebox musical called Xanadu. Alright, so the next album is a newer one. It's Lemonade by Beyonce. And this was the one that she kind of like dropped by surprise. And it was nominated for Album of the Year. Unfortunately, it didn't win. I think Adele's 25 album won, which was also very good, but I thought this album was absolutely just a masterpiece. And it's really cool because the color of the record is like a bright lemon yellow. Let me find it real quick. Okay. See. Oh, I probably shouldn't tap right on this and get my like finger oil all over it. So I'm gonna not do that. Right, and then the next album is actually my favorite album of all time. It's by my favorite band of all time, and it includes my favorite song of all time. So it's just, this one's really special, and it's Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album. There we see Stevie Nicks on the cover, right there. My favorite song by them is Dreams, which is on this. There's also Secondhand News, Never Going Back Again, Go Your Own Way, Songbird, The Chain, Gold Dust Woman, and a couple more. Yeah, here's the pictures of Fleetwood Mac on the back. Now, some trivia about this album. It was written around the time when there was a whole lot of drama going around in the band, like a lot of relationships, breakups, hookups, cheating, all of this like crazy stuff. And normally all the stuff that happened would like break apart a band, but they all put that drama and like that conflict and hurt into their songwriting and ended up making like their most iconic album, in my opinion. This one was really successful. And yeah, I love Fleetwood Mac. I have a Stevie Nicks poster over here to my right on my closet. You can't see it, but it's there. Okay, and then the next one is a soundtrack to a musical, and it was in my DVD video. The movie was in the DVD video, and it's The Greatest Showman soundtrack. I pre-ordered this the second I found out that they were releasing it on vinyl because I love the movie and the soundtrack so much. So this one is really fun to listen to, and it has all the songs from the movie, like The Greatest Show, Come Alive, Never Enough, This Is Me. This Is Me was nominated for like Best Original Song at the Oscars, and they got to perform it on the stage at like on live television, which I thought was so cool because I really love that movie. And unfortunately, the song didn't win. I think Coco, the song "Remember Me" from Coco won, which I mean that one deserved it too. There were a lot of great options for that category, and I wasn't really sad when that one won. So right here we have David Bowie. This one is Hunky Dory, and it has Changes. It has, what other songs? It's kind of hard to read because it looks like just a whole bunch of like chicken scratch on the back. But yeah, this one is a good one. Oh, it has Life on Mars as well, which is another one of my favorite songs of his. I also like Heroes, but that one's not on this album. As well as Space Oddity. The next one is also a musical soundtrack. It's from the Barbra Streisand film Funny Girl, which was, I believe, released in 1960. And she plays Fanny Brice, and this musical is honestly awesome. It's really funny, but also kind of heartbreaking, and they just did a really good job. I think this one, for being released, like, I don't know, over 50 years ago, is still one of my favorite musicals ever. And I actually had the Broadway soundtrack of the show Funny Girl as well, but I like the movie one more, so I turned the Broadway record into a clock, which I might show you guys later. It's hanging up on my wall right now though, and I don't want to get up, so I'm just gonna show it to you maybe in a later video. But this song has I'm the Greatest Star, People, Don't Rain on My Parade, and then My Man, which is one of my favorite songs from the show. I mean, a lot of people have covered that, like Whitney Houston, Lea Michele. Like, it's a very, very, it's kind of a short song, but it's a very good ballad, I think. And the next one is Lana Del Rey's Lust for Life album. This one might be the newest album that I actually have in my collection. I love Lana Del Rey and her voice and her style of music. This album was kind of happier than her other ones. It was also very nostalgic and was kind of influenced by like the 60s and 70s, and it drew like a lot of political like references from then, like they reference Woodstock. It's a lot about like war, like going off to like the Vietnam War, and just kind of like a nostalgic like 60s, 70s feel. I mean, she has like the daisies in her hair, and there's an old pickup truck. She's so beautiful. Look at this. Wow. I love Lana. And Lana is so, you can tell she's versatile based on all of the people that she has featured on her album. Like, she does songs with The Weeknd and A$AP Rocky, who are all like rap R&B artists. And then she also has like people like Sean Ono Lennon, who is the son of John Lennon and Yoko Ono, as well as Stevie Nicks, who I love. And they did a song together, which I thought was beautiful, and their voices just go very well together. So yeah, I have a couple more of her albums in this collection as well, but that was the first one that I'm showing you. The next one is the soundtrack to Call Me By Your Name. Call Me By Your Name was also one of the movies that I showed you guys in my DVD collection video. This one, Sufjan Stevens wrote, I think, 3 songs for this movie, or 2. I'm not sure, but they used 3 of his songs in the movie, and it also has a lot of classical film. And whenever I listen to this, like, I can see the scenes from the movie where they played in, because I've seen it so many times that, like, I'll hear the song and I'll, like, recall what was going on in the movie at the time that it played. The song Mystery of Love by Sufjan Stevens was also nominated for Best Original Songs, or the Best Original Song at the Oscars, and it didn't win either, but I was so happy that it got a nomination because it's a beautiful song. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's called Mystery of Love. And then here's another Lana Del Rey album. This one is the Paradise album. It has American, Cola, Blue Velvet, which is a cover, Bel Air, Gods and Monsters, Body Electric, and Yayo. And this song, this album I think is my favorite Lana Del Rey album. This one paired with the Born to Die album. They're basically separate albums, but the Born to Die Paradise edition includes all the songs that's on this one, so it's kind of like a double, like, joint album. And then we have another Fleetwood Mac album. This one is their greatest hits, and it has some of the same songs that were on the Rumors album. Like, let's see, Rhiannon's on here, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, Hold Me, Everywhere, Gypsy, As Long As You Follow, Say You Love Me, Dreams, Little Lies, Sarah, Tusk, and No Questions Asked. And I think I have such, like, a taste for older music because my mom was very into, like, Fleetwood Mac and Creedence Clearwater Revival, and so I kind of fell in love with all the music that she showed me. She also loves the Bee Gees, and I love the Bee Gees as well. I think I have their album laying here too. This one is Amy Winehouse, the late great Amy Winehouse. The anniversary of her death actually just passed like a week or 2 ago. It's very sad. She was so talented. It's just such a shame that we lost her. I would have loved to see her get healthier and release more music because she was such a talented singer and had a very soulful voice and so easily recognizable. Like, no one else really sounds like her. This album includes Rehab, You Know I'm No Good, Me and Mr. Jones, Back to Black, Love is a Losing Game. Those ones are like my favorite on the album. There's a couple more that I didn't list, but those are the ones that are probably the most popular. And here we have Hairspray. This is one of my favorite musicals ever. I think it's in my top 3. Like, I think the music in it is awesome. And I'm talking about like the Broadway show as well, like not just the movie that was done. There's been several like movie and TV adaptations of it, as well as the Broadway version. And it's set in the 60s in Baltimore during the segregation era. And that influences like a lot of the plot. And I think there's just amazing messages in this show about like acceptance and change. And the cast is amazing for the movie. I mean, John Travolta, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, Amanda Bynes, James Marsden. Let's see who else. Queen Latifah's in it, Brittany Snow, Zac Efron, Elijah Kelly, and then Nikki Blonsky, who played the main character, Tracy Turnblad. It was her first movie, I believe. You don't really see her doing anything now, but this was kind of her like breakout role. I'll read some of the songs that are on it. There's Good Morning Baltimore, Welcome to the 60s, I Can Hear the Bells, The Legend of Miss Baltimore Crabs, I Know Where I've Been, which is my favorite song from the show, I think. It's also my favorite piece of musical theater. I think it's such an awesome song, and Queen Latifah does an amazing job singing it, and I love it. Whoa, the front looks so cool in the light. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Sorry. There's also Mama, I'm a Big Girl Now, which actually wasn't included in the movie, but it was included in the TV like live version adaptation that had like Ariana Grande, Jennifer Hudson, Dove Cameron, and who else was in it? Oh, Kristen Chenoweth from like Wicked and all those other musicals. Now the next album is from Hozier. I don't know. I never know how to pronounce his name. But he's the one that sings "Take Me to Church," Jackie and Wilson, "Someone New," "To Be Alone," "Sedated," "Work Song," and "Cherry Wine." I think "Cherry Wine" is such a beautiful song. There's also the music video is very, very powerful and very sad, and it has Saoirse Ronan in it, who I believe has she won an Oscar? She's been nominated several times for Oscars, but she stars in the music video, and it's very, very good. I think Hozier's Irish. I know Saoirse Ronan's Irish, so I know he's not American. But yeah, and I also heard that he might be coming out with new music soon, which I really hope he does because I love him. The next soundtrack comes from a movie that I also showed you guys in the DVD collection video, and it's the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now the album is so cool because, like the Lemonade album, it's colored. This one is like bright cherry red, kind of like the lips at the beginning, like the red lips right there. Yeah. Oh, this one's a little dusty. I gotta clean this. Wow. Okay. And the movie stars like Tim Curry and Susan Sarandon, and they both have like really good voices, surprisingly. Also, Meatloaf is in the movie, and he sings as well, because obviously it's Meatloaf. You're not gonna have a rock star join your movie and not let them sing anything. Some of the songs are Science Fiction Double Feature, Damn It Janet, The Time Warp, which is very popular, Sweet Transvestite, Hot Patootie Bless My Soul, which is sung by Meatloaf, Touch It, Touch It, Touch Me, and yeah, some more, but those ones are probably the most well-known songs. Ooh, the next one I really like. I've liked this since like my freshman year of high school. It's the Arctic Monkeys AM album. Oh, that's upside down. There we go. That's correct. Okay. This is like Do I Wanna Know, Are You Mine, Arabella, Number One Party Anthem, Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High, Snap Out of It, Knee Socks. Knee Socks was I think the first song I ever heard by them, and it was the one that I like fell in love with, and it just reminds me of like high school and my sophomore year in particular. Like that, I don't know, that song just reminds me of that. There's a lot of songs that like remind me of a specific year. Sometimes the memories are good, sometimes they're not so good, but I still like listening to them. because I feel like this has become more rambly than it has been tapping, so sorry. I'm gonna do a video like dedicated to solely tapping, and I'll shut my mouth during that one. This is the Creedence Clearwater Greatest Hits. This one is really good because it has all of my favorite songs by them, so I don't have to like go out and buy their individual different albums, because this one just has like a collection of the best ones. Like Susie Q, I Put a Spell on You, Proud Mary, Bad Moon Rising, Down on the Corner, Fortunate Son, Who'll Stop the Rain, Up Around the Bend, Run Through the Jungle, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Okay, the next album is the Bee Gees' Greatest Hits. I love the Bee Gees. They're the ones who sing like Stayin' Alive and all that. There's Jive Talkin', Night Fever, Tragedy, You Should Be Dancing, Stayin' Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, If I Can't Have You, More Than a Woman, and Rest Your Love on Me. The song is so great. The album, their music was used on the soundtrack for Saturday Night Fever starring John Travolta, and they also did like a Glee episode dedicated to the Bee Gees, or dedicated to the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, which was mainly just the Bee Gees, and they did a really good job. I didn't really think I liked disco until a couple years ago, and I was like, you know what, it's like the Bee Gees are awesome. And then, here's another Lana Del Rey album, Born to Die. This one has a lot of her really, really famous songs, like, Born to Die, Blue Jeans, Off to the Races, Video Games, Diet Mountain Dew, National Anthem, Dark Paradise, Radio, Carmen, $1 Million Man, Summertime Sadness, and This Is What Makes Us Girls. This Is What Makes Us Girls and Dark Paradise and Blue Jeans are probably within my top 5 Lana Del Rey songs, and 3 of those 5 are from this album. I don't know, like there's so many Lana Del Rey songs, it's hard to narrow down which ones I like. I think it depends on what mood I'm in, of like what songs I like the best at that moment, and which ones I want to listen to. So the next album is not a Fleetwood Mac album, it is a Stevie Nicks solo album. I believe this is Belladonna. Yeah, it's the Belladonna album by Stevie Nicks. There she is with her bird. There's another picture of her holding what is it called, a tambourine. The songs on here are Belladonna, Stop Dragging My Heart Around, which I believe was with Tom Petty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one featured Tom Petty. There's also Edge of 17, Leather and Lace, which she sings with Don Henley. It's a beautiful duet. Their voices are just heavenly together. And the next one is Elton John. This is Volume 2 of his greatest hits. It has songs like The Bitch Is Back, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Don't Go Breaking My Heart with Kiki D, Pinball Wizard, and a lot of his iconic songs. Elton John is just such an individual. He's very unique, very amazing. It doesn't have songs like Piano Man or Your Song. Or wait, is it Piano Man? Oh my god, if I got the title of that song wrong, I'm so sorry. Yeah, there's Rocket Man, and then is there also Piano Man? Is that a song? Am I just dreaming? I don't know. Okay. And next we have the Beatles. Another one. This one I think is, it's just called Meet the Beatles. It has like I Want to Hold Your Hand, I Want to Be Your Man, It Won't Be Long, All My Loving, I Saw Her Standing There, Little Child. The Beatles are iconic. However, I don't like all of their music, and I know I'm going to get like crucified for saying that, but there's certain songs from them that I really enjoy, but like I'm not a like hardcore Beatles fan, but I appreciate how revolutionary they were. I really like their solo stuff too, like Paul McCartney and John Lennon. So the next soundtrack is from The Wizard of Oz, and this one is really cool because it also like includes the characters like speaking in between songs. Like it'll kind of be the scene right before and right after the song, so you get like a glimpse into what's going on. It's not just the music. And I love Judy Garland's voice. It's so different. I guess it just runs in the family because her daughter Liza Minnelli also has a very signature like style. The next one is also a movie musical from a little after Wizard of Oz. It was The Sound of Music with Julie Andrews. The songs everyone probably knows are like Maria, 16 Going on 17, The Sound of Music, Do Re Mi, Edelweiss. And My Favorite Things, that was the other one. Oh, Christopher Plummer was in it. How did I not remember that? And this one was by Rodgers and Hammerstein. They're the musical duo who like basically did the soundtracks for every famous musical for like years and years. They're behind so many of the greatest like Broadway shows and stuff. And the final album I have right now is Thriller by Michael Jackson. It has Wanna Be Startin' Something, Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, PYT, Pretty Young Thing. I also want to get the Bad album, like the album entitled Bad, not that it's a bad album, just to clarify. So yeah, I think I have some more albums somewhere. Those weren't all of the ones I have, but I think that's a pretty good collection for just having gotten my my record player like a couple months ago. So thank you all for watching. I'll be back soon for another video, and I hope you guys got some tingles from this. And I'm gonna do like a tapping video again, where it's just tapping and it's not really me talking, so